There is a 1998 Randolph Subryan court order on a hearing, and there is a transcript on a hearing from 1998 that keeps being stolen from me by a Sandra Altamari. She would constantly steal the court order from my apartment in Totowa. Anywhere else I have been, other states, the Sandra Altamari has had people there to steal it. I would go back up to the 8th floor, and I saw a Millie. She told me, well, Sandra Altamari does not want you to have this court order in your possession. On 11/9/15, I had an experience at 401 Grand Street on the 8th floor with Miriam Biscaya. On 11/9, I arrived at approximately 1:15, and I stood in line. I signed in, and Miriam Biscaya would refuse to give me the date of the Randolph Subryan hearing. I went to a Lynn DiMarzio on the 5th floor, and she said, yeah, well, you're going to need the date for that hearing for me to process the transcript. So I went back up, and this Miriam Biscaya was telling me to sit down for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. I think I was there till 3:30 after arriving at approximately 1 p.m. All she had to do is go into the computer, click it in, and look at the date, which turned out to be 7/31/1998. Repetitiously, I would get up on the line and tell her, look, I'm tired of sitting down. It only takes you about maybe 20 to 30 seconds to get you this date. I had to call her boss, Alex Bonilla, who was just walking away from me, and say, oh, yeah, we'll get that for you. I was there for hours. Finally, this Miriam Biscaya looked it up, and she wrote down 7/31/98, Randolph Subryan. And she lied to me and told me, oh, but this was adjourned. Nothing happened in that hearing. And I said, well, no. If you're not lying to me, and it is 7/31/98, and it says Randolph Subryan next to it, I was there. I know what happened in that hearing. I next went down on the 5th floor to the transcript lady, Lynn DiMarzio, and she was very arrogant with me. She was screaming at me, give me your paperwork. She was cursing at me in Italian, which does not have to be presented and played at this time. My goal is to get the transcript. So Lynn DiMarzio took the date 7/31/98 Randolph Subryan from the form that I had filled out, and she went inside at her desk and went on the computer, and she came back out and told me that it was approximately 30 minutes and that other people had already been viewing it and had access to it. I thought that was rather strange. Lynn was very unprofessional. Once again, she was cursing at me in Italian, which once again does not have to be heard at this time. My goal is to get this transcript. After she looked at her information in the computer, or talked to whoever she talked to, that there's proof that they've already been reviewing this and that it exists and that it is not lost, because Lynn told me it was approximately 30 minutes. She said we can expedite it in 7 days, and it would be approximately $193 for the half an hour of the duration of this transcript of the Randolph Subryan 31 July 98. Today is 11/12/15. At approximately 1:01 p.m., I went back into 401 Grand Street, and I keep having these experiences there. I'll note that it's just an experience at this time. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but I find it funny that they're predicting that they're going to lose after someone had already just viewed what is on those transcripts, that they're predicting they can't be found and they're going to be lost. On 11/9, this Lynn DiMarzio told me that it was approximately a half an hour and it's going to be $193 before she started cursing at me. So there's proof that people have already been viewing these things, and they're predicting now that they're going to be lost. So on 11/12/15, I went back to the 5th floor with my check to get a process going to retrieve this transcript, which I was supposed to come back as per Lynn DiMarzio with a check for $193 after she told me it was going to be a 30-minute transcript, and it was going to be $193. I went back today, 11/12. I was greeted by someone who was friendly. She said her name was Jessica Gonzalez, and this is what happened with Jessica.
I was here the other day, and Mr. Morzio told me it was 30 minutes was $193.
Okay.
So expedite 7 days, and it's for the 7/31/98 Subryan. So walk me through this part. What's your name?
Jessica.
Jess. What's your last name?
Gonzalez.
Okay, now I spoke to a lawyer. They said I can come back and pick it up. You guys can call me.
Well, no, they deliver it to whatever address you put here.
Okay.
Yeah, you put your address and then the agency takes care of that.
Okay, so the plaintiff was equal L, and the defendant was Doug Sittell. That's me. And the date is here.
Okay, so you want 7/31/98 with Judge Subryan.
Approximately half an hour.
Okay.
And this was the docket number
Okay.
that I had on my record, but they changed it. They said it was 89, which makes sense because when it started it was 89.
Okay. Well, yeah, don't worry about that. We'll take care of that. We'll figure it out that docket number. Okay, yeah, so then just fill out your info, and then did Linda tell you that she, because this is so old that it's in storage, did she tell you that she had
I
everything?
know it's going to be in storage, and
okay.
they have everything in archive. I know it's going to be there. She said it would be there the other day.
Okay, well, we don't know. Let me ask her, because we don't know. Sometimes they get lost, misplaced, or... Lynn? Okay, so you're not going to be able to leave a deposit today, because we have to get the stuff from storage. So Linda couldn't do that because she didn't know what judge or date, because you said the form.
Judge and date the other day.
Once again, on 11/9/15, I had an experience at 401 Grand Street. Starting on the 8th floor for 2.5 hours, they would not allow me to have the information of what exact date that Randolph Subryan hearing was. It took 2.5 hours for something that takes 20 to 30 seconds. On 11/9, Lynn DiMarzio from the transcript department looked at that information, took that information, 7/31/98 Randolph Subryan. She looked in the computer, did some research, and came back and told me it was approximately a half an hour, and pulled out a form and said it was going to be $193 as per her records for half an hour. This is the information that Lynn DiMarzio gave me, and she told me that someone was already reviewing it. I found this to be strange. I'm like, well, okay, these guys are looking at it because they're scared. So that's proof that it exists and it is there and it's not lost. And at 11/12/15, once again at 1:01 p.m., this is the experience that I had with Jessica Gonzalez, saying that it's going to get lost and it's an old record and not to give a deposit. Once again, I already know that it's there because Ms. Lynn DiMarzio told me it was there and someone was already looking at it and reviewing it, and that it was a half an hour long, and it would be $193 as per Lynn DiMarzio.
All that information the other day?
Okay, because we needed to keep at least a copy of it, of this form, so we don't have the information yet.
Ms. Jessica Gonzalez is suggesting now that the other day, 11/9, Lynn DiMarzio did not take that information from me, that the court date was 7/31/98 Randolph Subryan. Lynn DiMarzio took that information from me, and she went into her computer, and she came back with the prior knowledge, said that someone was already reviewing it, so it's there, they know it's there, and she said it was approximately 30 minutes, and she pulled out her guide and said it would be approximately $193 for 30 minutes. She gave me that information.
So we might get the stuff from storage either tomorrow or Monday. And then what we do is we give you a call, you come down, and then you can leave your deposit.
I can't leave the deposit with you now?
No, because we don't know if this matter was done previously in the past, and if it was still with that same agency.
What do you mean if it was done in the past?
Maybe someone else, requested it.
I don't understand.
Maybe someone else other than yourself requested it in the past. She could have requested it, or if she had an attorney, he could have requested it. You know what?
What does that have to do with my requesting it now?
Because if it was, we have to keep it with the same agency that did the transcript back then, if it was. So we're not going to know that until we get the stuff out of storage. Once we get everything out of storage, we can figure it out, and then you can come and move your deposit.
Just found it strange just then that Jessica Gonzalez, she was telling me that someone had reviewed it in the past and it's already been done, almost suggesting that I can't have it or see it because someone already did this, which Miss Lynn DiMarzio on the 9th already told me that they were looking at it and gave me the information that it was approximately a half an hour. So now Jessica Gonzalez, her suggestion is, well, someone already looked at it in the past, some agency or something, so maybe I don't need to see it. I don't know what she is suggesting, but she is mating up with what Lynn DiMarzio told me on the 9th, that they had already been looking at it and it was there. So I just found that strange that Jessica Gonzalez just made that statement. Once again, the only reason I am all the way down there again at 401 Grand Street is to leave them a check for $193, which the information provided me on the 9th by Lynn DiMarzio, who said that they were looking at it while we were talking and told me it was approximately half an hour. I'm there to give a check, so why are we bouncing backwards now? Why can't I give them the check? I don't understand.
I spoke to a lawyer the other day, and he said I could come and pick it up after you guys get it.
No, you can't pick it up here. It's going to be delivered.
Why can't I pick it up?
Because they deliver it to you.
I spoke to a lawyer the other day, and he told me that he goes down and makes after he makes a request to pick up the transcript, that he goes down to the initiating where they process it, and he says he goes and he picks them up all the time. I don't know. Maybe he's wrong.
The other day, I was here, and Miss Lynn DiMarzio, she took the date 7/31/98 for Randolph Subryan, and she said it would be approximately 30 minutes, and it would be about...
It's impossible that that's what she told you, because she doesn't have the information to tell you that. And I was here, and I remember her telling you that. She needs to get the stuff out of storage in order to tell you how much of a deposit's going to be.
So you were here when she was telling you that?
I was here. This is her office. I remember you. You were here.
Right, but you weren't here when she was telling you that.
Sir, I was in the office.
There was nobody in there.
11:09, I went to the 5th floor to see Miss DiMarzio, who once again was cursing at me in Italian, screaming as loud as she could that I wasn't going to be able to have access to this transcript. And you can see there is a clear window that gives view of the entire office for the transcripts on the 5th floor. Miss Jessica Gonzalez was not there. She wasn't inside the office. You have complete access by view of the office through the window, through the glass. Miss Jessica Gonzalez was not there during my conversation. She was not present in the hallway, nor was she in the office at all on 11/9 when Miss DiMarzio told me that this transcript was being reviewed at this time, and all the nonsense I had to go through with her. Miss Jessica Gonzalez was not in the office when Miss Lynn DiMarzio took this information from me and came back and said that it was in storage and to come back with my check on a later date. So I'm here with my check today. They won't process the check. I just find it very strange that this is happening. And now that Miss Jessica Gonzalez is claiming to be a witness to my conversation with Miss Lynn DiMarzio on 11/9, which you could clearly see on the camera, she is not there, and she is also not visible inside the office through the glass window.